bad feeling about this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Contiengecy Plan Podcast. My name is Jedi Master David, and with me, as always, is Darth Austin.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, guys, we have another very special pod. It's always a special podcast around here.
It is.
But it's even more special because it is an all-Togorian podcast.
Tony.
What's a Togorian?
Tony the Tiger. That's his species.
We're going to get more into that during the HoloNet. So you guys just stick around. And now for things that aren't Star Wars.
How's that painting going? They're not talking about Star Wars.
Haven't started another one.
Really? In the time since we talked last, you haven't started another one?
Nope. Haven't started another one. Yeah, we're actually doubling up, doing some back-to-back episodes here just so we can get ahead. So I imagine you're still feeling good?
I feel amazing.
Amazing.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be back. Okay, I just threw up.
You better not give any of that crap to me. Yeah, not a ton going on, really. I don't really know about looking forward to this week either. Just kind of back to work, you know.
I have a meeting tomorrow. It's my first day, so.
It's the first day of probation.
I have a hearing meeting.
Oh goodness. Yeah. You got your new job starting up. I've still got my old job that I go back to.
You sound so excited.
No, I'm always so excited to work.
You know what? It's good to be loyal to the company you work for.
Yeah, that's not what I tell people. Yeah, no, not much. I'll tell you, we were talking a little bit off recording about how I'm in a perpetual need to spend every dollar I have.
The same here.
Yeah. Geez, a lot of throat clearing today. But I came across a deal. So, we
got me doing it.
Yeah. Well, we both play guitar.
Oh, God. What'd you get now?
No, I didn't get anything. I've just been thinking about getting stuff because that's how I do things.
That's how we entertain ourselves. We shop.
Yeah, it's shopping therapy. No, I actually don't really like shopping, but I do like things. I've been considering a new TV because there's President's Day sales, right?
I really haven't looked at any of the sales, honestly. I better go shopping after this.
Yeah, I don't really know if there's anything that's super great, but I did spot a nice little 50-inch Fire Smart-ish TV that was reasonably cheap.
You know where there are probably some amazing deals? At American Freight.
Oh, God. Pick it up by the docks. Yeah, American Freight.
Is that everywhere or just an Ohio thing?
Dude, I really have no idea. I don't. It's probably Ohio. I would have to assume.
So it's Ohio Freight, not American Freight at all.
Well, it's American. But anyway, it's like made in China, but it's American Freight.
No, it's American.
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
I think that guy's dead. Because I haven't heard his voice in a long time.
Commercials. Yeah, they might have moved on. It was super annoying. That was something on the radio back in the days of we all listening to radio.
He's kind of like Billy Mays on drugs.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it was like a more shouty Billy Mays, and he just the shout out the phone number and where you can find him. But no, I was.
Do you remember that phone number?
No, no.
884-2224.
Okay, I remember. I was thinking about the 2222222 thing, but no, I don't really remember it. So anyway, I was looking around at. Periodically, some of the guitar sites they drop guitar deals, and a lot of what we play are Washburns, and they're older limited, quote limited edition. They were limited runs, but they were all. Laminate side and back with, solid tops, but laminate sides. But anyway, so there was a deal on a Martin. It was like the custom D. Yeah, you give them the D. The custom D. And probably one of my favorite guitars I ever played that I'll more than likely never obtain was the Martin D28. I played one of those years ago. and it was one of the nicest guitars I'd ever played. So anyway, they have this Martin Custom D, which is essentially like, I don't want to say they're bottom of the barrel, but it's still American made. It has solid mahogany body and back, solid spruce top, and I think they're still using rosewood fingerboards, which for those of you in the know, rosewood has sort of gone out the window basically due to over harvesting, and it's kind of restricted in certain countries. So
And it's a shame. I understand it, but it's
yeah,
a shame.
but you can use ebony or I can't remember the other one that people are using. I know ebony's been bandied about, but anyway, there's a few that are comparable. But rosewood obviously was just something that had been. I mean, they'd made entire guitars out of rosewood. So anyway, they had a sale. It was like $200 off this thing, and it's the most affordable in the line of American-made solid wood guitars, and it comes with a case. So
Well, does it?
yeah, it does. It actually does. I mean, most higher-end Gibsons come with cases. That's just something they factor into the price. But yeah, I'd kind of been looking at that, and then when we were at Guitar Center, I don't know, a few weeks ago or a month ago, there was that auditorium one, the shallow bowl one, and they had that on sale too. And but that's a high-pressure laminate back inside. So I really don't need to do that. Well, and I
On
also
top of that.
well, I also found on the Guitar Center's website, and it's a D21S. It's not a limited, but it's a Washburn, and it is comparable to the D24 that Grandpa used to play.
Interesting.
So it has the same headstock stamp, but it's like $400. I don't really
That's borderline too much for an acoustic for me.
Well,
I know
it's-
you can pay a lot more than that.
Oh, you
but
can pay a
still.
ton more, but for a used
But for
acoustic
me,
from the '90s that has a laminate side and back is a little bit heavy.
That's getting close to Martin prices, and I just don't do Martin prices.
Yeah, well, you know, the bigger thing is really I don't really need another guitar. I don't really play. I mean, I play at least every other day, but not like gigging anymore. So I really don't need anything else. But I got to looking at that Martin, and I was like, that's pretty nice. Because
I need it. I've come up with 3 reasons in 5 seconds why I need to spend this money on it.
I really don't need to spend any more money. I mean, as we were kind of talking about, I've definitely went through enough in camping gear, which we're getting towards it. You know, baseball pitchers and catchers reported already in February. They're starting earlier and earlier.
God,
The first spring training game is in a couple of weeks.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. So our camping and hiking season is going to be starting back up here. I'm not much of a winter camper. I mean, I'll do it, but
You'll just need to start taking Mondays off so we can camp every weekend.
yeah, well, we'll see.
Yep.
I've got plenty of time to burn, but yeah, we need to get out and do a little bit more of that. But you need to.
Speaking of which, shameless plug of another channel that would be great for some camping related content.
My channel?
Your channel.
Uh,
Since the other one's dead.
Yeah, the one me and the Darth at one time attempted to.
We weren't always Star Wars fans.
Well, we attempted to start up another YouTube channel, and it was fine. But the issue was it was time and getting together, and then
And it was more expensive to make videos for that than a book opposed to buying a bunch of gear and reviewing.
Well, it's true, but yeah, I mean, I have another YouTube channel. If you just search out Dave's 45 Auto, all one word, no spacing on YouTube, you can find my channel. I've centered mostly around ration reviews and stuff. But the royal we, will be putting more camping equipment videos and so forth once things sort of get picking up. I've got a lot of ideas for stuff.
Maybe we'll get our coffee video going.
Well, that's one thing. I have a ton
cuffs.
I have a ton of instant. I'll have some ideas. I'll talk to you about that here in a bit. But yeah, we definitely have some times where we're gonna be doing some mass recordings for other things. So it is just something to interest you. But I'll tell you what you should check out: the Contingency Plan Podcast on Facebook.com. leave us a message with your Star Wars story or how you like our rereads or how much
Just-
we don't talk about Star Wars.
Just
or
talk to me. Just talk.
Yeah, but like that page, and if you have some more long-form stuff, you can always email us at tcplanpodcast@gmail.com, or you can check out our Patreon where we have our Dinner with the Patrons series, among other things in the future, but that's the main thing we have on there. So again, you can support us and get a little extra content.
I think we need a Reddit too, an r/Reddit.
We don't need that.
All the cool kids use Reddit.
Well,
I actually don't know if anyone uses Reddit anymore. I haven't heard that.
I don't know why I even thought of that, because
I
I
have
haven't
no
heard
idea.
Reddit in like 2 years.
No idea, my man. I have no idea. But yeah, you can check those things out. So let's go ahead and pop out of council and then go a little bit into HoloNet. And
Tony.
there wasn't much on the Star Wars front, but I did think that this was funny. So the Togorian race. So a new Jedi Knight was brought into canon.
He looks like a Jedi Master.
Well, he's not quite a Jedi Master, just a Jedi Knight. Jack Zinn. JAK''ZIN. Jack Zinn. He's a tiger
No
man.
X.
No.
There needs to be an X in that name.
Well, guess what? He's a tiger man.
Was.
He was. Because Count Dooku killed him. That was
He
his...
killed Tony the Tiger. It was great.
Oh, the lore. Yeah, it was kind of funny. So, again, really short lore here, but essentially, this was before, like, Count Dooku was outed. And so Tony here, or Jackson, Jackson, he was kind of like helping Dooku, but then sort of realized what Dooku really was, and Dooku kills him. So that's pretty much the end of the HoloNet. So,
How does he kill him?
didn't he shoot him?
I didn't read that part. No, I saw
okay.
a picture of him impaling him.
No. So Dooku revealed his true allegiance and used the Force to manipulate a blaster, shooting Jackson through the chest. So he didn't even
Okay.
stab him with his.
It must have been really.
It's like, well, he revealed his blade that was red, and then he manipulates a blaster to shoot him. So
Why doesn't that happen more often?
it sounds like a Sith thing to do.
Sounds like an easy thing to do. Jedi have to do everything the hard way. God.
Yeah. So what do you think about tiger people?
I think they're great. No, I'm not doing it again. I'm not finishing that. I don't know. Do we need them? Are we going to see more of them? Because
Well-
I'd rather not, especially in the movies.
That we won't. But I mean, here's the thing: is that, and it was brought up in one of the articles I read. In the original trilogy, obviously there were creatures, but they weren't in every scene except one, Chewbacca. So there was always a constant reminder that there were, different races of aliens out there, and humanoids weren't the only thing in the galaxy. So, I mean, yeah, a race of tiger people, crab people.
Crap people.
I mean, there's some lore, some old stuff about, an insectoid race with a hive mind that, I'm not going to talk about too much here, but
The Flood.
so I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, do I care about tiger people?
I don't. I'm sorry. Does that make me a racist against tigers?
Racist against tigers. It's bad. So anyway, yeah, there's tiger people now in canon. Thank you, and you're welcome.
Really appreciate that, Disney.
How's that for HoloNet for you boys? Oh, I'm just bashing stuff around.
It's okay. He's
So-
angry. He's giving in to his dark side temptations.
Oh, yeah.
He is becoming one with his inner Jason.
Yeah, that last chapter we read, what a Jason off. So we're actually gonna slam two chapters together here because they're both
can.
short. Chapter 6 and Chapter 7. Chapter 7 was very short. It was only a couple of pages. And, I mean, Chapter 6 has some content in here, which is interesting. But, again, these are just kind of set up
You
chapters.
gotta put 7 in with something. So
Yeah, and again, I mean, like, we don't want to tear through this book by any stretch, but
they're not giving us much of an option with this one. They're too short.
But yeah, a lot of these are really short. So, chapter 6, Horn's problem, and then chapter 7. Oh yeah, let's talk about Mara.
No, I want it to be Daddy's little Jedi.
Oh, chapter 6. Yeah, that's better. Daddy's little Jedi. Awesome. No, that's much better. So, yeah, you ready? You want to talk about anything else before we get into things?
You know, another name. I could come up with 20 from this chapter. Just kill him now. Just kill him now. I'm sorry.
Well...
Again, you guys like to do it the hard way. I would just kill him now.
I guess, a precursor to this, obviously in our last chapter we had the revelation of Corrin's mission, and that he was going to be going on it with Ganondorf.
I didn't think you'd remember that. I didn't.
Oh, I did. So yeah, old Ganondorf and Corrin are going to be going on a mission, and Corrin was a little apprehensive, and obviously Luke understood that, and he's put Corrin in charge, but this could be difficult, and blah, blah, blah. So now we're going to figure out why. But before we figure out why, oh yeah, I already did cheap plugs, didn't I?
Yeah. Do them again.
No. Anything else we want to talk about before we jumped into the chapters, plural?
You paint anything?
Not anymore. Sometimes I just like to draw or paint. Do you remember? Here's something.
They're still not talking about.
So now we're going to go back to Jedi Council. Do you remember the infomercial for like one of those drawing schools? It was always like you got the booklets and you like drew a turtle head or like a thing, whatever. And it always started. Do you like to draw or paint?
Drawer. like a closed drawer.
Do you like to draw or paint? Well, I like to.
Do you like to draw drawers?
I can't remember. I cannot remember what those were infomercials for, but
either.
I've heard it talked about somewhat recently. But yeah, the old '90s infomercials, they were fantastic.
Have you ever wanted to just, find an old tape of one of those?
Draw or paint?
Obviously, you want to draw or paint. But just like on the backs of books with all the send in information and maybe get send back or call in to this number. You ever just want to do that now?
Well, I mean, my God, do they even do that anymore?
I would be surprised how many are probably still doing it.
I mean, I still remember as a kid where there were box top things. You save box tops and then you send them in, or you got prizes in cereal or, little promotional. I don't know if they really do that anymore. Mail-in catalog deals.
I mean, from those companies, I'm sure most of them are out of business by now.
But, well, I mean,
cereal doesn't do that anymore.
I don't think
you
so.
Don't
but
save box tops anymore.
But I mean, hell, you can't even get your Toys R Us catalog and just sit there and circle everything.
You're definitely not going to do that now.
Yeah, you're darn straight. So anyway, back to Star Wars. Let's start into Chapter 6. What was your name again? Daddy's Little Jedi. Okay, that's good. Oh, so Corrin Horn.
Talking about corn again, freak on leash.
Corrin Horn. That's kind of tough. Corrin Horn. Found Valen in a small clearing. Valenhorn. Corrin and Valenhorn. Just a bunch of horns.
He's a Valakor.
God.
Valenhorn.
Well,
close enough for me.
You know what? Maybe I'll learn to play that Valencorn one day. Maybe.
You're tone deaf, man. You're never going to learn to play.
Well, Valen, he found him in a small clearing in the Yavin 4 jungle. The boy sat on the ground cross-legged with his hands on his knees. This was actually kind of cool.
I like this kid. He's smart as crap.
Well, a little dark side, but anyway. He stared intently forward, concentrating on a small rock a meter in front of him. Sweat beaded up on his brow and threatened to trickle down into his hazel eyes. Immeasurable pride and anguish roiled around Corrin's heart as he watched his son the horn, what do you think?
Halcyon.
The horn halcyon line, okay, of Jedi Knights were notorious for its lack of telekinetic abilities.
TK.
Yeah,
TK,
we're
man.
not saying that. So, but that was something mentioned in the previous chapter.
Yeah.
That Corrin, and it's sort of centralized around his line. They just don't have the telekinetic ability that other Jedi might. Well, Corrin still recalled his complete frustration with trying to move objects through the Force, except under extreme circumstances when he'd use the Force to contain energy that would have hurt others. He couldn't do so much as tickle drool from a Hutt's lips.
Why would you want to?
Well,
Is
you just want to tickle it.
Do you think Luke did that?
Well, apparently Jedi mind tricks don't work on Hutts. Only weak fools.
I just imagine Luke getting really bored during that conversation. Like, hey, look, he's drooling.
Tickle.
Eh,
Yeah, it's just
eh.
that Valen would try so hard to move the rock and press Corrin. Valen had already had suppressed his father's expectations. I went a little pretentious there. That's good. Though only 11 years old, he already stood shoulder height to Corrin and clearly was going to take after his grandfather in terms of size. I don't really need to read his entire description because it's kind of silly. Well, like every father everywhere, Corrin's chest tightened as he watched his son try a task that he knew the boy would fail. He wanted to step in to save him from the disappointment.
I don't want you to hurt.
I don't want you to hurt anymore. Oh, learning the lesson might hurt his son, but learning how to handle disappointment was more valuable. Good job. But guess what? The rock moved.
But
Did
hold on. Did you read the whole thing? You didn't read the whole thing. Learning how to handle disappointment was more valuable than being able to move all the rocks in the galaxy. Bull crap.
Yeah.
Move every rock in the galaxy. See what happens.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, the Empire's doing stupid crap over there. Let me just move every rock over there and see what
Just
happens.
surround him with rock people. Yeah. Well, the rock began to move, tottered off its base, and slowly flopped over on its side. Corrin was pretty happy about this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You moved it. Dad, I didn't see you there. No, you were concentrating. That was great. Well, it wasn't what he thought.
Yeah.
But
it was cooler.
It was from a certain point of view. It's a point of view thing. Look again. Basically, Valen was using these like ants to move the rock for him. He basically implanted in the little ant brain that the rock was food, and then the ants went over it and moved it. So, actually, really cool.
Yeah.
A little bit more impressive because he's controlling animals. Right. However, Corrin kind of spots a little bit of the problem here, because it is. I mean, like controlling another being. Although, I mean, an ant wouldn't technically be considered sentient. What did they say the word was here? Do you remember that?
You mean what they called the thing?
No. Compelling the behavior of a sapient individual. I don't think I've ever heard that word before. I'm sure it's real. So, anyway.
Yeah.
He's making ants do stuff. He does say here, it's probably closer to the borderline with the dark side than you want to be playing with, but I'm very impressed. I mean, it's cool. You might wind up to be a Sith Lord, but I mean,
all right.
I'm impressed.
Just support your son, man.
Right. Communicating with other species isn't easy.
Not really, Dad, rolling his eyes.
I'm not really communicating. They're just bugs. Which, it's like, okay, you don't really understand what communication is.
Right.
You're clearly communicating. Well, it's not really communicating. I couldn't tell him to, like, leap in your eyeball. Well, you probably could because you're a freaking psycho
Technically, he almost does that later.
That's true. I feel like this would be like the equivalent to like Willard or something with the rats, Jeez. Rat people. Well, Valen wants to make him prouder. I'd like to make you prouder, is what he said. I've been trying to move that rock with my mind for a while. Then decided to try it the other way. I guess I'd never be a powerful Jedi, Dad. Well, Corrin's a good daddy, and he says, there are those among the Jedi that view strength as how far you can move something, or how easy you can break something. The real strength of a Jedi comes from within, from the heart, and the mind. Some Jedi move rocks just to prove they can move them, but the strongest Jedi don't see any reason to move rocks when it isn't going to solve the immediate problem. But they can still move rocks.
Yeah. They have the option.
It's like, well, I mean, it's not a big deal, but, some powerful Jedi don't move rocks, all the time. So what do you tell me, Dad? He's telling you, boy. I want to do that. I wish I had, the deep voice, from God of War, the new God of War game. Boy, you're telling me. He's telling you, boy, that being weak is something you'll learn to get used to. Perhaps a handicap you'll even get over.
Boy.
Ganondorf! So here we first meet Ganondorf. He's not Ganon. He's either Ganon
Connor.
or Ganondorf. I hate that name. So sorry. I'm sure
We
people have
just lost people.
Yeah, it's I don't know. There's something about the way certain words sound to me that just annoy me. Anyway, we've just lost half the audience. It's all good. They're all just a bunch of Connors. The other Jedi nodded solemnly.
There's a cow Jedi now. First a tiger, now a cow.
Why not? Just flopping
Disney,
udders
you're
around.
crazy.
That's where they get the milk. Well, the man stood a full head taller than Corrin. His broad shoulders tapered down on a narrow waist and hips.
Oh, my.
But the man's body fairly rippled with muscles.
Oh, my.
Do I really need to read all the descriptors? I think we got what we needed to. The midnight blue and black Jedi robes he wore set them apart from the jungle. Gave him the barrel of official stuff.
Oh, my. He sounds nice.
It's just rippling with muscles. Corrin could feel the force gathering in his son. He gave Valen's shoulder a squeeze.
Don't do it, son.
Please, Valen. I can't get back into the Lord. Boy. I have to say boy first. Boy. I really wish I had that voice. That'd be great. Please, Valen, show me what you can do. Project whatever vision you wish. I promise to be afraid. Everybody's such a dick.
Yeah.
The boy lifted his chin as the force drained out of him. Scariest thing I can think of is you standing there. Oh!
That really wasn't a burn because he's just saying you're scary. He probably likes that.
Well, you look scary.
You're the scariest thing I could ever think of. You terrify me greatly.
And Ganondorf clapped slowly. He's snarky. He has a lot of spirit. This is good. Our ship is ready to go. I was just going to say goodbye to my son.
We have some time, boy. I mean, man.
Not much, but a little yet.
We have some time. Not much, but a little yet. Why'd you have to say either of those things? Just say we have time.
Well, so anyway, Corrin goes ahead and sends his son back to the Great Temple. Your mother and sister are there, blah, blah, blah. I'll be there to say hi. Go, Valen. Yeah, mother. Okay. And here we go. So Corrin watched him go. Who did he watch go? Then slowly looked back at Ganner. You're skipping around. Okay, and now the real reason you wanted to meet me here, away from others. Boy, perceptive good. You're nominally in charge of our expedition.
Boy.
So yeah, they're going to fight a little bit about who's really in charge.
And this is where I get to the point. Just kill him now. You can see how much of a problem he's going to be. You have the worst mission. You have been screwed over.
Right. So Ganondorf is basically just saying, yeah, you're leader in name only. And he does go into some of this here, which I'll read
You're
out.
an old-style Jedi, boy.
Yeah, I'm not going to read it in the entire voice. But you and your dual-phase lightsaber. Oh, dual-phase lightsaber. Oh, no. And basically says, meaning I'm much more powerful Jedi than you are. Meaning I know that you don't care for Kip Durin's philosophy, stutter, a philosophy that I think must be embraced if the Jedi Order is to fulfill its destiny in the galaxy. So he's a Kip supporter. That's fun.
Again, to all these Kip supporters, you realize Luke could just kill you all.
Yeah.
Like, just destroy you all just
dark.
by thinking about it.
It's very dark.
Well, he could.
It's very dark side. I will do what must be done for us to complete our mission, but I will not brook.
Brooke, I didn't understand.
I will not brook interference from you. I've never heard that phrasing before. I will not broke. I would say like broker or something. Yeah. I don't know, whatever. And then he threw a rock at Corrin with the Force because, of course, Corrin can't TK anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying, boy?
You know what that reminded me of? Episode of South Park where Butters becomes a pimp. He's like, do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this guy is such an idiot. I mean, he's trying to flex like he's some, bro at the gym, Yeah. You on my weight machine, bro? But, so he like, force throws a rock at him.
Yeah.
What a tool.
Lame.
And Corrin's just, cool as a cucumber.
Kipcumber.
I was going to say corn, but it didn't make any sense.
I was going to say it, but it didn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah, you guys love this stuff. This is the worst podcast ever. Sure, you're saying that your philosophy is more important than the job we're being sent to do.
That's not it at all, boy.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Sure it is, but I don't expect you to understand that. You and Kip and the others believe the way you do. You're working very hard to establish what the Jedi mean in the galaxy. You're doing that by wearing sharp uniforms and taking strong stands. Sharp uniforms. It's always hot. You're doing that by, just was about to reread that. Much of the time, you're probably right in the stands you take. I can't disagree with that. What I don't like is how you make the stands and how you work. You're all saying, hey, we are Jedi, we deserve your respect. I happen to think we need to earn it. So this is an important thing here. So Ganondorf basically thinks that the Jedi just deserve respect because they gained it. But wait a minute. Who gained the respect of the galaxy?
The person they're saying not to follow anymore, essentially.
The Jedi.
Yeah.
The only one that was there, Luke freaking Skywalker. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that these individual Jedi haven't proven themselves at all.
No.
They
all
haven't
they're doing
proven
is pissing people off and proving that they're renegades.
Yeah. So it's a lot different. But, Gandalf. Oh, we have earned it. The Jedi made order out of chaos in the Empire. Corrin says, no, a Jedi did that. The only Jedi there was at the time. We already kind of said that. He starts talking about when he worked for Corsac. And then you, of all people, have the least call to criticize us for trying to establish an image that makes our jobs easier.
How do you plot that course?
Yeah. T-shirt. What you did on Corcrus. You terrorized people, made them see frightening things that weren't there. A triumphant smirk played across Ganondorf's features. You might have been going by the name
Kieran Halcyon.
There we go. But you use the methods we use. You know how effective they can be.
No.
So this is a bit of a throw-in for Corn's backstory. So he might have used a few techniques that were
all the stuff his son was just doing.
Quite friendly, making people see stuff. Yeah. So anyway, he did some less than savory things too.
He did some dark side stuff.
Yep. No. Korn shook his head. You're not going to use what I did on Corcus to justify your actions. Corcus was an outlawed planet ruled by Corcus pirates. I used their fear against them to break down their confederation of Corcus. I made those Corcuses who deserved
Federation.
We're not drinking. Fear someone bringing justice. Actually, fear justice having arrived. You all come in a situation, hold yourself judging others, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean, he was basically using it for a purpose, but it's a fine line. It's kind of a fine line there. So they both sort of have some points, except Ganondorf's just a dick. Oh, we deter them from turning to the dark side.
Yeah.
I don't think you can deter anyone from kind of going to the dark side, which is
and
kind
trying
of
to do that is kind of dark side a little bit and kind of empire-ish.
Yeah. So anyway,
let's not talk about it.
Yeah, I've heard that argument before from guys at Corsec and in every security service on any planet I've ever visited forever and ever and ever. Fear, regardless of what good it might accomplish, is a stepping stone on the path to the dark side. None of that matters, though. You don't want me interfering with you on this mission of ours? Fine. Don't give me cause to interfere with you. We're to go, find some academics, and bring them home. It's very simple. Of course, Ganondorf...
It's going to be a 3-hour tour.
On a 3-hour tour. Well, Ganondorf snorted. He didn't like that description of the mission, which technically is true. It's not that simple. There could be some real stuff going on here, and Korn's just kind of... They're both trying to get towards each other. Well, I do hope it will be that simple, but these things never are. Though some are taking refuge in the idea that the hyperspace disturbance around the galaxy will keep out all but the few Yuuzhan Vong who squirted on through. I think the analogy that it is like a storm may be abating, is more likely true. If so, we will likely find Yuuzhan Vong in the world as many others. Okay, so that disturbance, we kind of talked about that in previous episodes, but basically there's a big disturbance that around the galaxy that if you try and pass through it, your ship basically explodes. You can't go through it. But the Yuuzhan Vong did.
And then he does a little anime move.
Yep.
Grabbing for his lightsaber.
Well, he dropped his hand to his lightsaber, his Ganondorf saber. I'll do whatever it takes to show these invaders why they should have never come here. Boy, aren't you forgetting something?
What?
Our mission is to save the academics. It's a little detail, but you can see how painful missing that little things can be. And then here's the fun part. The Garnants, because it can't just be ants, the Garnants, you did this to me! The little ants are starting to attack. Attack! You did this to me, not me. Perhaps you stepped on a colony's main tunnel. I'm going to have to speak to Val, and he's probably screwing around. Can't be screwing around, kid. They're everywhere! And then, Korn sort of seems to think about Yuuzhan Vong swarming over Ganon for some reason. Okay, you might think this is funny, Horn, but I'm serious about what I said. Don't get in my way. And then he tore off his tunic and started running towards the Great Temple.
Instead of just using the Force to pull them all off of him.
You better listen to me.
You better not get in my way. Mom, they're biting me.
So anyway, that's the end of Chapter 6. Daddy's Little Jedi. What do you think of that chapter? Was it your favorite chapter ever?
It might be so far, honestly. That one's my little buddy. He's going to be my apprentice.
Well, that's an interesting thing, though. I mean, not all Jedi have the same Force abilities. Not all Jedi have the access to all Force abilities. Ooh, big yawn. Anyway, nap time. But it is interesting, the control of animals, because, I mean, that's actually been something that's been canonized. I believe it's been canonized. It's definitely been in books.
Oh, it doesn't matter if it was, because now it's not. But it is again.
No, I think it is.
Again.
I think it is in canon, but... I just want to control a shark or something. That'd be fun.
Jedi shark doo doo.
Shut your mouth. Oh, I will say there was a cute little video of this little girl. She was trying to get Alexa to play Baby Shark, but she couldn't say it well enough. And it just sort of started saying, sounded like Baby Shark. And so I'm just sitting there in my head, Baby Shark. Anyway, finally the mother had to say it for her, and she starts doing the little hand gestures, and she was just a little kid. That was hilarious. But
do you think there's been someone at this point announcing to their boyfriend, "Hey, guess what? I'm pregnant, Baby Shark doo doo."
Oh God, I hope not. But no, seriously, now I just think periodically it's Baby Shark doo 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 doo, Daddy Shark doo doo. And it ruins childhoods forever. So again, chapter, what'd you think about Ganondorf? Pretty impressive anime guy, right?
Just kill him now.
I don't know. He could be a solid individual. What about Corrin and his
Throws
son?
rocks at people.
That was pretty douchey. What about Corrin and his son? Valinhorn and Valacord and
I want to see Valen get to do some. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Action.
He's just the king of the Ganants.
Yeah.
The Garnants or whatever.
What if
I've got my army? Fear me!
I think he's going to go to a planet. He's going to find a mutated species of the Garnats that are massive.
Wait, he could control those bug things that Yaman
The thud
fought.
bugs.
No, the
And
ones
the other ones, the violent ones that can't be controlled.
No, the little atmosphere changey bugs.
Oh, those ones.
He
yeah.
can control them all.
And the thud bug. Just all of them.
Stops thud bugs in midair.
Wouldn't that be amazing if he just...
Bong as food. Attack him. That'd be good.
Hey, Dolphin Basilos, you want to just, explode all their ships, all the coral skippers real quick?
Anyway,
gravity whales.
Let's go into chapter 7 here. Oh my God, we have to talk about Mara.
Oh my God, we forgot about Mara.
Mara's cool though. Like I said,
Do they mention Mara? Other than, I should say, has Mara had a line yet in the book?
That's a good question.
I don't think she has.
Well, guess what? We're gonna be sitting some.
It's been 10 chapters, including the last book, since we've talked to Mara.
Yeah, well, we're gonna set some mood music and dim the lights because they're going into the bedroom. Anyway, I don't even know about this chapter.
We'll see some kneecap kissing.
Oh yes, we're very.
Good. That's gonna be.
We're very PG on this podcast. Just little kneecap.
We need to make a shirt that says "Kneecap kissing makes me have blood rushes."
Don't you get out of here, dude. Oh. Anyway, so Mara's doing a little reclining here. Luke's checking up on her. How's it going, Luke? Good. I'm good too.
Okay, good talk. Bye.
Yeah, I mean it's not really a chapter really worth spending a ton of time on and
through the bedroom they shared. Why'd they have to emphasize that they shared it? I don't know, but okay, let's get started on this chapter. Through the doorway to the bedroom they shared.
Yeah.
Or are you skipping that part?
I'm trying to skip a little bit. I mean, basically Mara does say, Anakin, I don't, want to be late for her departure.
She's doing better. Let's preface that. She is doing better since the using bong haven't been distracting her.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit to the descriptors on that here in a second. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Anakin's a very understanding boy. How are you? Your Jedi Master tell me. Cute little banter.
Kissing kneecaps.
It felt as if she'd wrapped herself in thorns, then cobbled together body armor from starship hull plates. Beyond that were kilometers of wrappings holding her in all tight. Each line of defense brought his probe up short. He's probing her. Then a little tiny gap opened.
Stop it. Don't go in this little gap right here that I opened for you.
Allowing him to move deeper and deeper. Just a little probe. Just his probe's up a little short, but the tiny gap open and deeper and deeper. This is a mature podcast.
Beyond the wrappings.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So she's wrapped herself in...
I like this part, though, describing how her Force version of herself is, how he sees her. That was interesting.
Yeah. About appearing to him to be white hot, flaring brilliantly. She was the most vibrant and alive person he'd ever known. Something made all that much more remarkable since the Emperor would have tried to dampen down her vitality while she was in his service.
Now, did the Emperor train her at all? Because I'm a little iffy on her backstory.
Well, she was like his hand. I mean, his protector. So, it's an interesting descriptor here. I mean, she's basically trying to set up all these defenses and so forth, and it's just tough. But there's still that brilliance, still that essence of her remaining. But the illness it's doing a number on her. That's for sure. Constantly rebuilding the damage done and keeping the defenses or the disease beaten back. So, again, without a cure, she's not going to last forever. But she's putting up a good fight about it. Luke does mention here she's not yet whole, but she is gaining in strength. I'd say you are doing very well, my little love. Doing better, but not well enough. Give it time. Impatience is... this could be another shirt. Impatience is handmaiden to despair. And despair is of the dark side. I understand, Master Skywalker. So, what do you think about that? Impatience is handmaiden to despair. And despair is of the dark side.
Much like you were handmaiden to the Emperor.
Yeah, that's very true. You don't mind having Anakin accompany you to Dantooine? I can go it alone if you need him elsewhere. If you don't... Elsewhere. If you... I'm just trying to make sure...
I swear to God.
I'm just trying to, make them, believe that they'll never know directly where I'm from. Like I say I'm from Ohio, but I'm actually from Sweden or something. Like just changing accents is good. Which doesn't really.
I'm actually Rush Sweden.
If you don't want him with you, I can find another assignment for him. Your favorite part? Just say it. Okay, fine. The Jedi Master kissed her kneecap.
I want you to say it so bad.
Kissing that kneecap. Kneecap. I don't want you burdened with something that's really my problem. And then she gets pissed. Luke!
That happens a lot.
When we married, your problems became my problems. So, they go back and forth. Well, he's my family. Well, guess what? We're all family.
I like him, though. I actually like him.
I like Anakin. I can sympathize with what he has going on, what he's going through. If he was responsible for Chewbacca's death, dun 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 dun. One time I felt responsible for the Emperor's death. Both of us have lost something who is part of the foundation of their lives. If I can help him through that, well, he won't have to go through the things I did to find his way back out again. Do you think Luke meant to do it all along? Yeah, he did.
He killed Chewbacca.
Nah, I mean...
One thing you kind of skipped, though. Anakin is part of my family, and the way you grew up, you didn't have a chance to want to consider, again, what you're saying there, raised as only child Skywalker.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but, I mean, it is an important distinction, and it does... Luke he's obviously cognizant of what's going on, so he's placing Anakin with Mara as well to try and heal that hurt, because they've gone through a similar thing, except hers was with a wrinkly old guy who everybody hated. Let's see here. Actually, he accepted the assignment very willingly. Wrong. I told him that I was entrusting you to his care. He shouldered that responsibility very positively. He'd done a good job. All the things. Okay. I caught a burst of caution from you, Luke. What is it?
burst of caution.
Just a burst of caution. Her eyes flashed. I clearly need to work on my control more. You know the star charts. Dantooine is fairly well rimward. They even capitalized that. It's rimward. Yeah, it could be in the used involving invasion corridor. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Is probably the best shot of you getting more scouting done so you can assess the scope of the invasion. Yeah, okay. As we discussed, Axor dealt with it. Can't fault your logic. Dantooine is a serious military target. Sense of targets. All the reason. Jedi Master shook his head.
Death Star.
Yeah, it's not. Sorry, guys. I mean, it's hard for me to get interested in some of these like little minutia points. Dantooine isn't very strategic, and obviously they made a cool little connection here, though. But Dantooine isn't a serious military target. That's why the rebels chose it as a base, only to abandon it later, and that's why Tarkin, who was always one of my favorite characters, didn't destroy it with the Death Star, and that was in the movie, where he was like, Dantooine will make far too small of a target. We'll have to get, I don't remember the exact words, but then they destroy Alderaan, and everybody cries, and everybody dies. And then there's some more kissing. Resting
Kneecap
his...
kissing.
No, elsewhere.
Elbow.
Well, Luke's stretched out on the bed, resting his upper body on her elbows, on his elbows. Wait a second. He's just resting his upper body on his elbows. I can just picture that, like, the hands on the chin, just on your elbows, like little legs, flicking.
Imagine
up
it
and back
being
and
like
forth.
that Michael Jackson cover. Only with his Jedi black robe.
Why not? Take
You
a look.
do know me, Mara, better than I know
Take
myself.
a look, baby.
But not as well as I will know you when we're old and gray together.
If you don't know me by now. Yeah. And I want to find a way to cure you. I know you will. She pressed a finger to his lips. You will, Luke. You will. What do you think?
What's an agu?
Maybe some of our expert linguists out there. Let me just read this. Facing all we face, there's no way I'm going to let some AGUE, agu, kill me.
I'm just glad I'm not the only. I thought.
Let's Google it.
Okay, please do. I want to know what an agu is.
You want to know what some goo is? What else? What else here in the last few paragraphs stuck out to you? Anything?
Ran her fingers back through his hair.
A lot of kissing.
I miss you too. Blah blah blah.
Long and
Kneecaps,
fierce.
And for now, husband. For now.
Malaria or some other illness involving fever and shivering.
Okay. I don't think it's malaria, but okay.
Well, it's a disease. I guess this Michael Stackpole just really wanted to use some cool words.
Oh, by the way, he did a little misprint here, and it's hilarious. It's just not the best bargain in life, but not the worst either. And for now, husband mine, it is a bargain I am more than happy to accept.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of As for now, husband mine, husband of mine, maybe it's but yeah. So
Luke, you husband mine.
God. So yeah, I mean that wraps up the chapter. It's basically just a chapter, a little bit about little tender moments between Mara and Luke, and kneecap kisses and fierce kisses and staring at each other and eyes flashing,
Brilliant whiteness.
and just little probes, little probes, just
And little openings. Stop it. Don't
Deeper
come through this doorway.
and deeper. So anyway, folks, that was basically our podcast. What do you think? What do you think about those two chapters? They're your favorites so far, weren't they?
I mean, the first one was. Daddy's Little Jedi is my favorite Jedi.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we start getting into a little bit more action, and we will as soon as people start blasting off on their missions. But we're still setting the table a little bit here. And, God, where are we heading into now? I closed my book. Chapter 8?
9. Nope, chapter 8. You're right.
You don't even know. How can I rely on you, man?
That's what YouTube's for. Just look it up on YouTube. That's why we set it up.
That's true. So yeah, we're gonna pop into chapter 8 in our next next episode of the reread. And chapter 8's actually, it's a pretty short
beefy one?
chapter. No,
How many pages?
not that many.
I was 9.
Same as chapter 8. So we're
Two tiny ones.
yeah. I mean, it's not super tiny, but it's not long either. So it's not tiny.
8 isn't as bad as 7.
It's not quite tiny, but it's not long either. So anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoy the reread. Obviously, we make fun and make light of certain things and certain writing things, and we can't pronounce anything to save our lives. Well, he can, I can't. But we do enjoy these rereads, and we enjoy being a little silly about it as well too. And we're going to continue moving on through Dark Tide 1 Onslaught as we get back.
Remembered it this time.
I did. I didn't have the book in front of me the last time. But hopefully you enjoyed yourselves, and thank you very much for stopping by. You have a great rest of your day.
And as always,